Welcome to... I forget.
Yeah,
where we talk about...
What are we doing here again?
Where we talk about, I forget.
Yeah, I honestly...
I forget again.
Is this the shtick we're going with? Okay, I can't remember either.
Okay.
Oh no, this is the last time, this is the end, before the finale, this is the end.
That's right, this is
Already!
the last one, of, let's say, Volume 1 of CinemaSon.
Yes, there will be a volume 2.
We're trying to get you to watch anime for so long and we're already done.
Yeah.
Easy come, easy go, yes?
Yes.
Life has many doors, boys!
I guess sound more like Rolf. Easy come, easy go,
yes. Another episode of CinemaSon. Hello, everybody. It's great to see you. What is my name?
We did that joke earlier, but I'm the Wash.
God damn it! I'm Random Bystander.
And I remember my name.
I'm sorry. Okay, so obviously with all the references to forgetting, we watched Your Name.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Oh
Yes,
boy,
2016's Your Name.
Which came out
directed by Makoto Shinkai. Did I get that right?
Makoto Shinkai. That's
Makoto Shinkai.
That's
Makoto.
That's it.
And actually came out the same year Silent Voice did, right?
You are correct. They were both 2016.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So-
wasn't there like a competition of like, oh god, which one is gonna get which one's gonna like get, was it this one that got the, nomination?
So, well,
for...
okay, there was no question on who was gonna get the Oscar. It was Your Name. Let me put it like this. Usually I save this towards the end, but I'm gonna talk about Makoto Shinkai now. Your Name, in Japan it didn't do as well, but everywhere except for Japan, this movie made more money than Spirited Away.
Whoa.
That is how big of a deal Your Name is.
No, I thought, from what I saw, like, Your Name was like the biggest anime film in Japan's history.
Not in Japan, that's still Spirited Away. Everywhere else it's Your Name, but in Japan it's still Spirited Away. It's just because Your Name made more money worldwide. That's why it's bigger than Spirited Away worldwide. But in Japan, it's still, Miyazaki still got the title. But, Your Name, huge deal. Makoto Shinkai had already made, a few other movies, a few other little short things. This is really great one about a cat. I should have showed it to you too. But one thing that I do want to note about Makoto Shinkai and just how, like, chill of a guy he is, a lot of people are calling him the next Miyazaki just because, he's had some pretty successful movies for a while, and, you know, Your Name being more successful movie than Spirited Away speaks volumes that, you know, how big it is. So people are calling him the next Miyazaki, and he does not like that. He really does not like that because, quoting him, his movies are very different from Miyazaki's. He's not the next Miyazaki. He's just the next big director who can make these films that all these people can see and enjoy. His style of filmmaking is different from Miyazaki's, and calling him the next Miyazaki is disrespectful to Miyazaki.
Yeah,
So,
Makoto
Shinkai, cool guy.
Yeah. No, that kind of reminds me of when, like, people were calling, M. Night Shyamalan, the next Spielberg, which didn't work out, quite so well.
Not quite, no.
But
At least here we're talking about two good directors.
No, but Spielberg is very much like the Miyazaki of, like, live action American films.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's just like the giant name. And, I mean, obviously it's extremely flattering to get the comparison, but I can definitely agree with him that, at least having watched 3 of his films, this is not a Miyazaki film.
No.
It's not even a Miyazaki-styled film. Like, really. It's really nothing, it's just no real comparison.
So with that out of the way, do you two want to talk about what your expectations were going in? And then we'll get to me, and then we'll talk about the movie.
Okay, I can start that, this was in a similar thing to, what's a similar thing to Silent Voice? It might have, I forgot what I said about a Silent Voice. But I just remember hearing about this, just hearing the title for this a lot. during 2016. Like, oh, Your Name, you gotta watch Your Name. It's so good. And I knew absolutely nothing about it, except I had heard something about body swapping. And turns out that is exactly what it is. It is a film about body swapping and nothing else.
Yes.
Random.
Nothing.
Random.
What did I what?
What is your the earlier question? I already forgot it. What was the question?
At least we're forgetting names, not questions. I was even less. I knew nothing about this, because I have a really good talent of not getting spoiled by anime, apparently, because I knew nothing going into this. I was just, like, it's called Your Name. I didn't even know who the director was. I just know it's called Your Name. That's it.
Yeah.
Your Name, and it's apparently romance. And the only reason I knew that was because that's what it said when I watched on YouTube. It's Your Name, romance.
Yeah.
So that's all I knew. I knew nothing else going forward, and the only thing I knew was that it came out same year as Silent Voice, and people were constantly comparing the two.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that's all. That's it. It's another blind adventure for me.
Those are the funnest ones, aren't they?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Kirby,
all right, so I have a pretty fun story about Your Name. It was I was at a convention. The year was 2018 when I was here. Anime Next in New Jersey. Great time. One of the things that they do at Anime Next is that they have a bunch of rooms devoted to just doing screenings of certain shows, certain movies, some of them subbed, some of them dubbed, yada yada yada. Funimation holds the license to Your Name, and the movie had already been out for a little while, but there was a fun. Getting Your Name legally is a little tricky if you don't have the DVD, because Funimation doesn't stream it. But a Funimation rep was at Anime Next, and they had the Your Name, and they had a movie screening of it. Small little room. I guess they figured not too many people, because the movie had already been out for like 2 years at that point. Figured if someone wants to see it, we'll get the small little room. And I hadn't seen Your Name at this point. I really wanted to, though, because everybody was talking about it. So me and a couple friends, we got time, went into the room and watched the film. There were not that many other people in there. It was a small room, but there were still enough people in there, and we were all just reacting to all the stuff that happened. We were all screaming, we were all laughing, we were all shouting angrily because this is one of those movies you watch it, you scream. But it was a great time. Loved that experience. It wasn't that I saw the movie at a theater, it's that I saw it at a convention. Like that is a once in a lifetime thing. That's even better than seeing it at a theater, honestly.
That sounded a lot more fun.
I loved it. And then the next Anime Next I went, and one of the first things that grabbed my attention was that there was a panel about a guy who's very deep into anime films, ranking every anime movie by year, specifically naming Your Name and Silent Voice. This huge room, I am telling, it was bigger than an auditorium. This thing was packed with people. So many people went. And, the audience was getting into it, having a good time. Gets to the year 2015, talks about it. It takes a deep breath and says, 2016. The room was silent. I'd never seen a room jam-packed with that many people with this much silence. You could hear a pin drop. Haha, Your Name reference. And he was really nervous. He was talking about Your Name and Silent Voice. He was like, no other movies this year even come close. Built it up a lot, and ultimately wound up picking Silent Voice, and everybody in the room popped off. They were freaking out, celebrating. And he was like, all right, I didn't think that many people were going to think Silent Voice, but okay, I made the right choice. And it was really funny. But yes, Your Name. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about anime conventions.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Okay. So
this was.
This is. It's funny that I mentioned like M. Night Shyamalan. I mean, it's not quite the same thing, but like the twist in this I'm gonna put some, like a fair bit of, a tiny bit of backstory. I was watching this last night, and you two had already finished. You already finished watching it, and you said so in a group chat, and I said I'm just before the halfway mark, and 1 minute later, it turns out that everybody in the town is dead.
Spoilers, by the way. Oh my god, that fucking twist. We should probably go earlier in the beginning about like what the plot is.
Cause the way it starts is very vague. It's
so vague. I was so confused at first. Oh my god, I was so confused.
It was cutting around
I will
so
say.
much.
I want to say this is something, another thing from Makoto Shinkai himself. When making the film, he actually wanted, especially in the earlier parts of the film, like the first half, he wanted people to be confused. That was his goal.
Well, mission accomplished.
What he wanted was that people would be very confused about what was happening, but they were interested enough to want to know and stick around and watch.
Yeah. That's accurate. Well done. Cause I was like, why is she, okay, why are they acting like she's not part of what is this? What is going on? Why is it showing these random people and why is it showing them like not interacting? Oh wait, she was weird before, but now she's fine? What's going on? Who's this boy? Oh my goodness, is this a Freaky Friday situation going on? What the hell?
Freaky Friday, what a reference.
Freaky Friday.
I'm sorry, that's the first thing that came to my mind.
The point that was especially, like, it was confusing, but upon looking back, it's like, I love it in terms of editing. The very first time when we see Taki wake up in Mitsuha's body, and she's freaking out, and then it cuts over to them in the dinner table, and Mitsuha walks in, and she's totally fine, and it's like, wait, is that Taki inside of Mitsuha? But then you realize, no, that's the next day. We don't actually see what had happened. We just see, just people are just kind of like hinting at what's going on, like the day before. And then it just, from there, it just kind of builds up. And that point was like, it's intensely confusing. And like looking back, that's smart. I really like that.
Yeah.
I fully agree.
It was very smart. You don't even know, like, they don't even say flat out, we're switching places? Until, like, I'd say, like, a good, like, just when they just finished the first act, I think.
Yeah, at like 20, 30 minutes into the movie.
Could this mean? No! Could this mean that we're really...
That we're in our dreams, that guy and I...
That we're in our dreams, that girl and I... We're switching places?
Yeah.
Something like that.
That's where they flat out say it, and until they flat out spell it out. I mean, you get the idea. I got the idea, especially once we got to Taki, and Mitsuha wakes up in Taki's body. That's the point where I was like, oh, that's the girl. That is her. She is inside his body.
Really great animation on the body language.
Oh my god,
yes. Not only on Mitsuha with Taki, but also Taki with Mitsuha. Like you see when Taki is in Mitsuha's body, you see how she crosses her legs, how she's just roughhousing with everybody. He's roughhousing with everybody, whatever. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
And the part that really charms me is the detail with her hair, because when you first you hear like her friends are like hinting like she had like bedhead when she showed up in school, because Taki doesn't know how to do that hair and probably wouldn't even think to do that hair, and the fact that it's a very complicated braid, and it's a braid that like, of course, like, Mitsuha would do because she's very much into braiding. And so, like, you can instantly see when it cuts over to, a shot of of Mitsuha, you can tell by her hair who that secretly is, and it's really smart stuff. Good, it's good like a visual communication without ever, and it's like you catch on like early enough so that it's not like you're like, okay, who's that? Okay, oh, she said something weird. Okay, that's Taki. Like you see it visually and like, good smart.
Very good, very good. I'm trying to think of anything else that stuck out. How'd you feel about the main characters?
Well, okay, before getting into them real quick, we still haven't done like a real plot summary, so just to go over it real quick. I mean, we did talk about how they switched bodies and everything, but Mitsuha, pretty much out in the high school girl out in the sticks, wants to go to Tokyo where she can live a more exciting life, doesn't want to be stuck to the rituals and the tradition of her old school family. Meanwhile, Taki is a Tokyo boy, grew up in the city, has a part-time job, has friends, goes out to cafes to eat, yada yada. So two totally different lives, two totally different upbringings. And these are the people that are swapping the bodies. They have to adjust to the different lives, constantly switching back and forth every day, and kinda understanding it, setting personal boundaries on both ends. A lot of they go into a lot of the specifics of what you can and can't do as not only a different person, but a person living in this different setting, a person of a different gender, a person with different friends, a person with different priorities, a lot of really fun stuff. But that's a very, very abridged plot synopsis.
Yes.
Now we can get into the main characters. Who do you want to start with?
Let's do Mitsuha, because I guess she's introduced. Technically, she's not introduced first, but also, actually, she is. Yeah. Or, I guess it's hard to not talk about one without the other.
Yeah, but I mean, the movie starts with them by themselves, so I mean, we can at least go over what their base personalities are like, and then group them together.
She's kind of, like, a little reserved a bit, at least as her. She's, like, reserved, she's very, like, she's, like, pressured in, like, a small town community. How do I put this?
I actually feel like they're both like reserved in their regular lives, but then they get more like boisterous when they're at each other. Like they just take more risks because it's like, hey, it's not my body, somebody else's problem.
Oh, it's only a dream. It's fine.
Like even when they realize it's not a dream, they still like do shit to each other.
Yeah, they still like why
is my boss flirting with me? Why are girls asking me out?
What? Girls ask me out? Why does everyone in the art class fear me?
Why are all the guys at my job pissed at me? Hey man, you were supposed to follow bro code.
The goddamn bro code.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a line in the Japanese version or not, but in the dub the guy says we were supposed to follow bro code.
Okay, that was not in the sub. At least not in the sub I saw. I didn't see anything about a bro code.
Yeah, it was really fun. Yeah, because like you said, you're completely right. They were reserved in their own lives and like I don't want to say trapped, but kind of trapped, like complacent. But once they, like, switch each other's bodies, they're able to, like, open up each other and open up into different opportunities. Because, one, it's a unique thing to be stuck in, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they also experience a bunch of, like, different things together. Like, there's one point where I think it's Taki as Mitsuha, who, like, goes with Mitsuha's grandma to, like, the whole spiritual place. And that turns out to be like a very almost awakening experience for him, and also very integral to the plot too. So, yeah, that seems like an experience that he's able to like learn from and such. And I'm trying to think of the equivalent for Mitsuha.
Mitsuha as Taki took a lot of pictures of food.
Took a lot of pictures of food. Flirted with or hung out with the boss.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like she's just hanging out. Like she's just doing it as like a friendly thing, but like it seems a lot like flirting.
Yeah.
I mean, she literally says in the message that she wanted to go on the date.
Well, okay, yeah, that was kind of like pushing her, Mitsuha pushing Taki, into, like, I mean, at least in the sub version, they both said, like, I'm fine being single.
They say
and they both just,
They say they don't want to be in a relationship.
And they both, like, push each other into relationships. While there's like, no, I don't need a relationship. I'm fine. It's you who needs a relationship.
And is it bad that I knew they were going to be together the moment I heard them say that?
I mean, if you're savvy enough, you can kind of figure that they'd be together just by, like, the premise of the movie.
Yeah.
So, Your Name, Silent, so going through the list of movies that we've seen so far, Silent Voice had an implied romance. It was part of the movie for a bit, but by the end, like, as far as the romance went, who really cares? What mattered is that everybody, Shoko and Shoya, like, developed. Wolf Children had romance at the beginning, but by the end of the movie, didn't matter. What mattered is that Hana was raising her children. Redline had romance, but, like, it also had Funky Boy, so who really cares?
It had
Delivery
love.
Service. Love, the end. Kiki's Delivery Service really did not have any emphasis on any kind of romance, like, at all.
Except for the cat.
Oh, well,
Yeah, oh yes, the cat.
That's valid.
Sonic.
Tokyo Godfathers also didn't really have any kind of emphasis on romance. It was all about, getting the baby to the mother. And then the wackiness that ensued. Your Name, straight up, no questions asked. This is a romance.
Yes.
This is a romance.
This is a romance.
It's about romance. And there is romance by the end.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it just kind of goes without saying that, like, unless this is just, like, the most downer shit ever, they're probably gonna, like, hook up at the end.
I honestly was worried it was going to be the most...
Yeah,
I was worried it was going to be the most down shit ever. Because of what happens.
I think the loudest that we screamed was, the loudest that we screamed was either when the pen dropped, or the Sharpie dropped, or when they walked right by each other at the end. That was the loudest.
Oh!
One of those two moments were the loudest I saw it at the convention.
The
pen
pen was great. Like, I love that.
The pen
that, like,
was so...
extremely sudden jump cut.
It hurt.
Yeah, it's such a painful edit, and I love it for that.
Oh,
I love how smart it gets.
This is a painful film.
Oh, there's so many points where I was like, and there were so many times I was pissed off at this film. I was yelling.
Yeah.
I would have yelled if it weren't for the fact it was, like, late at night. My parents were asleep. Cause I was just like, you fucker! Their names!
Amen!
It's, oh god, I forget her name.
Mitsuha!
It's Mitsuha and Taki! Just remember the fucking name! I know I can't, but you can!
Mitsuha, I'll remember your name. Mitsuha.
Come on!
Yeah. And your name's Taki! Oh! I just tripped on the branch. Oh, shit. Well, oh, wait. I remember he wrote it down on my hand. I love you. You piece of shit!
Yeah! How is that supposed to help?
That's like the dumbest shit ever.
It doesn't help at all!
I'm not gonna write my name like I just said I would.
But you know what? How Random is screaming right now, that's how everybody reacts when they get to that moment. They're like, damn it! I wanna love this, but... I didn't have picked a worse time.
That's how I was with Amen.
Well, the difference was that people were still
Taki,
enjoying
you ungrateful
themselves.
child!
That's right, Taki, you're ungrateful.
Taki, you ungrateful boyfriend.
God. Yeah,
this out of all the movies we've seen, this is definitely the one that makes you scream the loudest.
Oh my god. Yes.
I would say that like the first, cause this is just for the first watch, but like I was like, okay, I got the body swap, and then the first part of it, right before the comet, I was just kind of like sitting like, I'm just like, oh, that's a good shot, that's a good edit, and then I'm just kind of thinking like, I'm not getting this yet. Like, I'm not getting what's making this like so big. And I have a feeling that my opinion on this might change upon the second watch, but I guess that might be like at least right now, that might be like something that's kind of bothered me a bit about it, with that like at first, it's just a very standard, body swap story. And like you have like a lot of the antics with that, like you have, Taki like grabbing Mitsuhai's boobs, and like the sister is just like, it's just every single morning the sister like opens up the door. It's like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna like talk to you now.
At one point she's like, you really like your boobs, huh?
Yeah, and then there's this point. I mean, this is after the twist. But like when Taki finally gets back into Mitsuhai's body on the day of the comet, like she's like fondling herself and like crying, and the sister's going in. She like closes the door. And says to Grandma, "I'm gonna go to school by myself
today."
She's lost it. She really, really lost it.
Yeah, she's still sounding concerned and like frightened as she's walking out the door.
But like, that's after the twist. I feel like the film turned itself around after the twist. Just like personally, at least on my first viewing, I wasn't too impressed with it at first. There's certainly some. It's certainly like an interesting watch. I you know, the like body swap stories are like a tale as old as time. And this kind of goes through the basics, and then the twist happened, and then I started to and then it just started to turn around and basically became a completely different kind of movie by that point.
Yeah, I mean, I had no expectations for this film going into it, which honestly is how you should watch this film. I had no idea it was like, I know it was like, people said it was good, I didn't know it was like praised as good as Silent Voice. But even now I'm just like, okay, it's just a movie. And yes, the body swapping thing was cute. It was like, oh, just a cute idea. But at the same time, I was like, where is this going? And I was trying to predict where is this going. And I had no idea. And then it gets to the point, and then you're like, see, Taki on the date. It doesn't go well for him. He seems distracted. Like, even she says, you have feelings for someone else, don't you? And he's like, no. But, and then it happens. And then it happens.
Well, what first happens is that, like, nothing happens. Is that, like, Taki does not, body swap, that day as he expected to. In fact, he doesn't body swap for weeks. And then one day, he decides, okay,
even before that, we go to the day of the comet.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Because that was the night. That was the night of the date.
Yeah, it was the night of the date in quotes. And we just see, this image is so powerful, and I want to study this frame. It's like, it's basically she's in her like festival outfit, cut her hair too, which she's adorable. And we just basically see him and her two friends, who I don't know their names, but I know one is voiced by Morgana from Persona 5 and like a lot of other things. And the other was like the guy who may or may not had a crush on Mitsuha and may or may not have a crush on Morgana. I don't know.
Tessie.
Tessie.
Yeah, Tessie and Miki, those are her friends.
Tessie and Miki. It gets to the point where she like runs to look at the comet and she sees it split in two, and then you just see her eyes darting at the comet. Like you can see the reflection of the comet in her eyes, and then it cuts to the date. And at first you don't really think anything of it. Like you were like, oh, that's a cool shot, but what does it mean? At least that's how I thought.
Yeah.
And then they don't body swap. It doesn't happen anymore. It hasn't happened for weeks. And then he just gets the urge to see her again. And so he's trying to explain it to his boss and one of his friends.
Yeah, which, by the way, I'm an idiot. Miki is his boss. Sayaka is the name of the other friend of Mitsuha's.
Okay.
I'm an idiot.
That's right. Miki, whatever. Miki and, like, one of his friends, they go try and find her. They have no idea where it is, because he just knows it through sketch. And they just happen to come to some random diner, where he's like, oh, that's a sketch of, what's it called?
What?
The name of the town.
Oh, Itamori.
Oh.
Itamori. And literally, he sees like, that's a good sketch of Itamori. My husband's from there. And literally's like, I know someone from there. We're trying to find her. And he just has the worst look you could see on his face. And
everybody
just has like
fear,
a dark.
Like, you don't remember this? Yeah.
And then cuts to the whole town wiped out by the comet. And it happened 3 years ago.
And can I point out
what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, yeah. That was exactly. That was the point where it's like immediately before that, I mentioned on Discord. Oh, I'm still watching your name. Hey, what's going on here? Oh no.
Oh no! I literally gasp. I'm literally like, what?
All right.
Yeah, and then like everything, like at that moment, everything clicked. It's like, oh shit. So like that's why, and that's why this, and that's why that, and that's why that.
So there is one thing from the first half I just want to go over real quick, and then we'll get back into this. One of Taki's friends, Tsukasa, the glasses guy, the first time Mitsuha is in Taki's body, and they're doing everything or whatever, and then the next day Taki's back to normal. He leaves. The other friend is like, oh, I wonder what's up with him.
Well, he's back to normal. I think he was kind of cute yesterday.
I wrote that down! Yeah, I wrote that down.
So
I wrote that down.
That's so good. Anyways, the twist.
Yes.
The twist. Again, this is all you're going to be hearing from me. I'm just thinking back to when I saw the movie the first time at the convention. This is how everybody in the room screaming, being like, why? This all this.
My heart!
This great energy.
Yeah.
Why? Oh my god. There's some twists that I see coming. I did not. At all. That pulled me under the rug. That threw me under the bus. I'm like,
it put you down the lake.
It did. It hit me with a comet. That's what it did. What the fuck?
Was it a comet, or is it a comet that split?
Honestly, I don't know. Either way, it's painful.
Yeah, I guess that's what matters. It's painful, and you're probably going to be dead.
Yeah.
Well,
my heart.
While we're on this moment, before we get to the rest of the film, while we're on this moment of this huge twist, when it cuts to you see the shot of the lake, and it's the town originally was it was a village next to a circular lake, and in the future, it's essentially one lake, but it's very clear that it's two circles that had joined and overlapped, almost like a Venn diagram. And I feel like that's a very good representation of the film in the overlap between Mitsuha and Taki. and also you could argue that it's sort of like a infinity symbol, so it could be like a reference as well to time and the goofy shit that time takes in this movie.
Goofy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just wanted to note that while we're on that point.
Not to mention, they mention this more later in the film, but a comet came in whatever time it was before. Like a comet hit the town before, and they literally use that as a point. Like a comet hit 100 years before, it might hit now. I think like when they were looking for reasons to like save the town and such.
Yeah, that's right.
One of the hardest hitting moments in the film is when it's about the comet, so it's later in the film, but it's close enough to what we're talking about. Is when it shows the comet landing. Like we had seen, obviously Mitsuha's perspective, it was comet hits, everyone dies. But we see from Taki's perspective, he looks at the comet and is talking about how beautiful of a scene it is, something straight out of a dream or whatever. And as that's happening, as he's admiring the comet, looking beautiful and everything, 500 people are dead.
Yeah.
And one of those people was Mitsuha. God damn.
Because, like, to everyone, like, there's even a point where I think somebody on, like, television at one point said, like, you are extremely lucky to have witnessed this comet.
Yeah.
Well, most might be.
Yeah, all except these 500.
Yeah, those 500 are fucking dead.
It's extremely morbid. It is so morbid.
Oh, my God. Oh. And that's not even the hardest part of to watch in the film.
I don't know where you're going with this. There are a lot of potential possibilities.
There's so many moments where I'm just like, God damn it.
Essentially becomes you're in a time loop. Well, it's just a time loop of one, really, but like, now you know the future, and nobody believes you.
Yeah. Because what the hell are you gonna do?
Yeah. It is kind of, I always say it's and jump into the end, it is kind of vague what, Mitsuha did, like, what, to the father.
Well, I mean, at that point, the pieces of the comet were already starting to fall off. Like, at that point, literally all she had to do was be like, get your act together, you turd. Come with me.
Oh, okay. I guess so. It's just that, like, he just seems like so steadfast that, like, it's not gonna happen. Like, nothing's gonna happen. Like, he literally just said, like, he's gonna, like, call, like a security to send her to the hospital. Like, like, he's just that, like, he's dismissive
also,
to the point of being, like, worried about her mental health.
Although he was kind of a dick about it.
He's extremely dickish.
Yeah, he was, like, really, like, there's even one point during, like, his campaign rally, and he just sees his daughter, he's like, come on, sit up straight! Or stand up straight. And it's just, like, right in front of
They could almost have done, like, to make a Pixar-expected Never Dies reference.
Oh, I almost
they
forgot.
could have done, like, because, around the halfway mark, Taki finds the shrine, with Mitsuha's spit, because at some point this is one of those things that just does not translate at all to like a non-Japanese, viewer. She, like, spits in a box, and that turns into sake. And the sake is in a shrine. And Taki goes and drinks the sake, and transports, through Mitsuha's entire life. Like he witnesses her entire life up to the comet. And then he jumps into the body. And at one point you see that, Mitsuha's, mother, dies, while her and her sister were very young. And after that, the father just got estranged from the family and started going into the politics. And they could have done something like Marlon, where it's like a sadness to that, but he's introduced as a dick and he ends as a dick. It's hard to. it's still kind of hard to just to be. Okay, yes, there's some sympathy. There's like his wife passed away. It was just like in the context of the movie. It was like just like listen to her, please.
There's
anyway.
It shouldn't be funny, but I got a laugh out of it. The grandma is talking about like how mad she is at the dad and everything. She was like, your father, he should have stuck with our traditions and religion and whatever, but politics? And I know that shouldn't be funny, but politics?
Politics? Might as well just murder your family. Politics?
So,
anyway.
let's talk about the movie Post-Twist.
Yeah,
Ooh,
so
it was very interesting.
Post-Twist is mostly, I would say it's well, okay, there's probably like two halves to the post-twist half. So, in the third quarter of the movie, it is, Taki inside Mitsuha's, body. And in the last quarter, they swap back to their times, and Mitsuha tries to fix everything, like, as herself. So that first portion was so, it's trying to think like what it reminds me of, because there's like a tragedy that's about to happen, but also it becomes almost like, this is not a good comparison at all. The closest I can think of it at all is like Goonies, where it's just like a bunch of high schoolers that are trying to figure out, okay, how do we warn the town about this extremely catastrophic event? Let's bomb the electrical plant. Let's jam into the emergency. It becomes I can't figure out the right word for it, but it becomes very like DIY.
It becomes like a heist movie of some sort.
Heist, yeah, that's thank you. That is
I
the
felt
word
like I should play like
needed.
some Sly Cooper music.
Thank you. I needed that word. Yeah, it becomes very much like a heist movie of them like planning everything, and of course, whenever you say your plan out loud in the movie, it goes wrong. So this does in fact not go according to plan, and Miki's friend gets arrested. No. What's the name of the friend? The friend of Mitsuha.
Natori is probably what you would know her as.
The one voiced by Morgana.
Yeah, Morgana. Natori is probably what you would know her as. Are they on a first name basis in the Japanese version? I don't know.
I genuinely don't think Random is the one that's making the reference to Morgana. I don't know.
Well, I said her. I was just saying her name.
But anyway, yeah, she gets like arrested and she's like bawling while the police are escorting her out of the school. It's like, it's just like this. If this doesn't work out, like they're in so much shit.
If this doesn't work out, they're dead.
Yeah, what do they have to lose?
I would honestly, I mean, it doesn't make sense, but I was honestly at a point where I was thinking, is it gonna be where, like through a weird butterfly effect, the comet doesn't split and they just wasted their time?
I was worried that too, honestly.
I honestly thought, like, it was gonna get that stupid, and thank goodness it did. Well, I mean, debatably, thank goodness.
Tokyo Godfathers was last time.
In terms of story, it's definitely, they didn't even go for the stupid resolution.
We gotta talk about the what do they call it?
Oh, the Autumn Festival?
No.
The Magic Hour?
Yes, we gotta talk about that. We have to. Such a sweet
The Sharpie.
scene. We'll get to that. It's such, at first it's like a nice scene because they like walk past each other. They sense they're around each other, and then it gets to magic hour. They like literally walk past each other, and I get mad, and I'm just like, and I forget exactly what happens where they like, I think Twilight Hour hits, and they finally see each other and talk to each other.
They both said, I didn't write down the line, but they both said something at the same time, and they realized that they said something at the same time, and that's when they started it.
I don't remember exactly, but either way, definitely. It was a nice little moment. They actually have some laughs because she joked. She's like, "You felt my boobs," and I'm like, "Sorry,
I only did it once. Only once.
Only once."
The amount of times
still not accessible, pervert.
And she literally like laughs at him, and they laugh at each other, and it's a cute moment. It's very cute. It's the first time you actually interact with each other face to face too.
This was the moment I was waiting for. Before the twist, I thought I was waiting for this moment. Yeah.
Yeah, and also, actually it's technically not, because they technically meet when they didn't know each other, where one person didn't know it was them.
Yeah.
But that's, yeah. And then at one point they're like, "Oh God, Twilight Hour is almost over," and like, "How will we remember our names?"
Just so we don't forget things when we wake up.
Huh?
Let's write down our names. Here.
It cuts to like darkness, and the Sharpie falls. Nothing but a pen dropping.
Yep. And here I was just like,
for that.
Cool edit.
Yeah. Very cool edit. But painful to the heart. Oh, my heart. Ow, that
that's
God.
the big God damn it moment.
God damn it! There's a lot of God damn it moments.
Yeah, like time is just kind of like yoink. and
like,
also
what?
like at that point, like because like Taki just completely forgets, right?
Yeah, he remembers for a bit, but then the more he kind of stops repeating her name over and over again, and then when he goes to say her name again, that's when he forgets.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh God. Yeah. And then that was the point where it's just like, I guess I let's go home. I guess.
Elephant sound.
That's a SpongeBob reference.
I was so mad.
Tsukasa and Miki run up to him and start making elephant noises. and then he just gets upset and goes, "I'll just go home, I guess."
And then Mitsuha's like struggling to like do it because she doesn't even remember why she's doing it.
And then Plankton comes up and builds a chum bucket.
Yep.
That's right. Mitsuha's father was trying to build a mega bucket.
Oh my God.
Oh God, no.
That all makes sense. He was used.
Speaking of SpongeBob, speaking of SpongeBob, gotta make this reference. We forgot we threw out his name.
Come on, baby, what's the name?
I know, no. And then, but this happened when Taki is at his waiter job and says, "Don't forget. Would you like some cheese on that, sir?"
Oh my God. Another thing that hurt me was like the moment where it cuts and we find out that she's actually going to Tokyo. And she's just and we actually find out she went to Tokyo the day before, and she just does it to try and encounter Taki. And literally, she spends the whole day. She doesn't even know if he's there or not. He just knows he lives in Tokyo. And then literally, just as she's about to go, she sees him on the subway, and she like interacts with him, and she's like, "Excuse me, hello, it's me," and he literally responds, because it's 3 years past, that he's like, "I'm sorry, do I know you?" And the look on her face is heartbreaking.
There's even like a cliche romance moment where like they hit a bump and she falls on him, and it's just it's really uncomfortable. It's like, ooh.
And at one point she just like runs and she's like, "Wait, what's your name?" And it's like, it's Mitsuha, and she throws her charm, and he takes it, and he's like, the whole time he's like, "I'm not sure why I have this, but it's a lucky charm." But he gave it to her 3 years ago. And it,
Yep.
Yep. Oh god.
Oh god.
It's an emotional.
Yeah, Random is dying now.
It's such an emotional roller coaster.
Random is dying, Wash is appreciating the editing, and I'm just like, when's that chum bucket being built?
No, I was thinking about the chum bucket. The comet clears out everybody in the beach for the mega bucket.
You used me for land development! That's messed up.
Oh, my face is so red.
What have we done?
That is messed up.
We didn't do this with silent voice. Alright. What else should I even say?
What did we think of Taki? We didn't talk about Taki all that much.
Taki was good. He was doing a lot
Oh yeah,
of
that's
things.
right. We talked on this time. We didn't talk about Taki.
Taki's, again, it's hard. You talked about, again, he's, like you said, he's very reserved with his own body, but when it's not his body, he's more like adventurous and dexterous and willing to take more chances.
Yeah.
And he's actually, he's like, he's literally doing this because, like, he feels like his time fucked with him, and he's like, I want to see this, I want to see how she's doing. And he literally, goes above and beyond, like, going to, like, the frickin'
Well, first,
forest.
he draws all the places by memory.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Because he has that little of a reference of, like, what to do, but he remembers places.
Exactly.
And he remembers in like, really high detail.
He can't, I guess it's because he can't remember the names. Can't remember the names, so all that info goes into memorizing the detail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he remembers it in detail. He, like, travels around. Even when he tells his friends to go back to Tokyo, he heads to the place where the sake is. And, like, even, like, when the weather is rough, he just heads over there to drink it. And he even tries to organize things as Mitsuha. He works really hard to try and save the town. All for someone who he met through time.
Yep.
And to save 500 people.
And to save 500 people.
That's secondary.
Yeah.
I like Taki, but, Taki's good. I like him, but I prefer Mitsuha of the two. I just feel like,
Me too.
when they're themselves, I just felt like Mitsuha was the more interesting character. Her dilemma, I thought was more, Taki's is good. Taki's is just kind of like he's going through life, doesn't really, he has a job, going through life, has friends, lives in Tokyo, doesn't really have any aspirations. Again, I just think perfectly illustrated through that moment with the comet, Mitsuha, is the one who wants to be more involved, and then she gets involved with the comet and dies. Taki is just living his life so nonchalantly that he doesn't even know that the comet hit Itomori and killed 500 people. Like, that's just how lackadaisy he is. And it's all just, it's like you said, everything comes together and is explained, and it's all very, I don't know if I want to say satisfying in this case, but everything comes together.
Yeah. I didn't notice until you, cause it's like, yeah, now that I think on it, we don't really, cause, you see them like, they swap bodies, and you see how they live their lives as each other. And I'm starting to think like there's probably been more. We see more scenes of Mitsuha in her life, like in her body, than we do Taki in his.
And most of what we see with Taki in his life has to do with Tsukasa and I don't know why I can only remember her first name. Miki, his boss. Not really much about his home life. We only see the one time where he wakes up and his dad says, "You slept in, it's your turn to make breakfast." Or was that Mitsuha?
No, that was
that was that was Taki. Okay, that's really it. The only two bits of his home life we see as Taki are that, and again, I'm bringing the scene up. The comet with the flashback. Taki's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go outside to take a look," and his dad's just like, "Okay," and that's it.
Yeah, and it's because it's his life is more interesting when someone else is taking over and taking chances. It seems like.
Yeah, that's because he's just he lives his life. He lives his life in such a lackadaisy. That's the best word I can think to describe it. He doesn't really have a direction.
Yeah, and it's only after everything happens that he suddenly takes the chance at the university and everything.
You see through Mitsuha how she doesn't live in the big city, so the American equivalent. She doesn't live in the big city, and she wants to do this. And then you have somebody who does live in the big city, and it's just like, all right, whatever. I'll get a job. I'll have friends. I'll go out. Whatever. Big deal. That's part of what I think makes their dynamic work in the first half. I really, this is definitely first time seeing it and second time. I don't know. I'm not gonna say give me a belly laugh, but I just had this huge smile on my face the whole time when they start communicating with each other and they're they learn about everything and it's they're having this back and forth and it's framed and performed like a back and forth, but obviously it can't be. So it's just they're messaging each other and getting upset
or they're leaving messages.
Yeah, they're leaving messages for each other. It's it's stop ordering all this food. It's because I'm working and want to eat this food. Well, I want to keep this money, so stop spending it all on sweets.
Why do you keep working these shifts? It's because you keep eating the sweets.
Yeah. this whole again, it's like a back and forth that's happening in real time, but it isn't. It's so I really like that part.
That
probably if I had to just a personal favorite part of the movie, definitely that whole bit. It was just really fun, and
yeah, that whole bit was very fun.
Super well edited.
Yes, this movie is very well edited.
This movie is very well animated.
Oh,
yeah, that's the big thing with this movie. Makoto Shinkai is the kind of guy who animates his movie with the devil is in the details. Everything has an impeccable amount of detail to it.
I didn't get to mention this because I forgot about it until you said that just now. I don't know where I found it. I might have just found it on Imgur or something. Somebody made it was a bunch of still frames from different anime films, but they're upscaled to 4K, and it's extremely fine details. And I downloaded a bunch of this, and I didn't realize that all of the ones that I downloaded are from your name because they're just that beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely, exactly.
This I even got one. I don't even know why I cut this one, but there's one shot where it's just it's raining and it's a puddle reflection of a Starbucks coffee. And I kept that one for some reason. Because it's just gorgeous.
It's just detail. That's where all this comes in. Everything. Yeah. There is a Nintendo GameCube in this film.
There is?
Yeah, and the second half when, Tessie and, they're in that little shed where Taki in Mitsuha's body and Tessie are talking about the bombs and everything. There's a lot of just scattered electronics throughout the room, and one of them is, in fact, a GameCube.
Oh, wow.
I can... you two talk about stuff. I'm gonna pull up the frame and post it in the Discord.
Okay. Well, I mean, they might have bought a GameCube, but did they bring a Super Nintendo with Buzz Lightyear, the video game?
Poorly designed video game.
Anyway, Yeah, so, gosh, where did we... I guess I would probably agree that, like,
Oh, while I'm looking.
Oh, that's right, we were talking about
while I'm
the
looking for the
animation. That's
GameCube.
right. Gorgeous.
While I'm looking about the GameCube, one thing I really like about the animation in this film, when there are a lot of characters on screen, they are all animated normally. They are not that weird CG that we saw in something like Wolf Children.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, are you talking about the dancing?
No, I'm talking about just when there's a bunch of people and they're in the background, like, they're in the city.
Oh, okay.
They're all animated normally. You remember in Wolf Children at the beginning when they were all like that weird CG rotoscope?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was bad. I thought you were gonna mention, because I wrote down in my notes that, like, when they were spitting in a box for the sake, they right before that, they're doing this dance, and the dance looked like it was like motion captured. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like too fluid.
It wasn't that jarring, at least like they looked normal.
Yeah.
I think what kind of made it jarring for me is that, like, the frame rate suddenly went, like, way higher during the dance sequence, to a point where it was like, this is, if it's not, it's probably not like CGI or motion capture, but it's very likely, like, this was like this is straight from a video source of like an actual, like, performance of this dance, of this ritual. It's just, like, so flowing. But yeah, that's what I thought you were.
I don't know that bothered me. That didn't bother me too much.
I posted the GameCube in the Discord.
Let me take a look.
Oh, I see it now. Oh, there's a PlayStation, Dreamcast.
There's a lot of consoles, but the GameCube is the important one. Okay.
I see.
And the Sega Saturn. I see. Yeah, and I see a Sega Saturn in there too. Oh wow, they got so many goods in that.
The GameCube is the important one. But yes, there's a lot of video games in there.
Oh, they got are those Pokemon on the shelf?
Yeah. think so.
Well, you know what I've been saying about this. There's so much detail in the animation.
There really is.
God, imagine how long
you know that Mitsuha is a gamer.
Just this frame, like, how long did it take to draw?
Yeah, God, it's so much. This
has been a discussion. This has been a discussion since Silent Voice. Should these films have been animated? And so far, all of them have been yes. And Your Name is also a hard yes. But like, even ignoring all the perks that it has being animated, just these backgrounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just gorgeous paintings. There's just so much great detail in it. And honestly, it would be hard to decide like which would be the better. It might be. Again, this probably just gonna be something that will change upon rewatching. This might actually beat out like a Silent Voice for me.
For animation?
For animation, for design, for quality, visual quality.
Yeah, the big thing with Silent Voice's animation is the body language and the small details revolving around that. Yeah. Otherwise, it's a very good looking film, but nothing. I mean, I say nothing stellar outside of the stellar stuff, if that makes any sense. But when you have something like Your Name, it's like all around just stellar.
Yeah.
With that being said, ending time.
Ending time.
Oh boy.
So basically, it cuts to Mitsuha. I believe it's actual Mitsuha.
Yes, that's right. It is actual Mitsuha.
The dirtiest look imaginable, and just cuts to like.
And her dad's like, "All right, you win, jeez."
And it just cuts to the destruction of the comet. Just blows up. We don't know what happened yet. We don't know if history has repeated itself or things change. We don't know anything. It just gives us a detailed blowing up of the town.
Yeah.
And it's silent, and it's like cuts back to years later with Taki, like, I think looking for a job.
It's 5 years later. He just graduated from college, and he's looking for a job.
Yeah, he's looking for a job. And we later find out that town, even though the town was destroyed, a lot of people, everyone survived because they just happened to be doing a drill that day. And
Yeah.
yeah, and so I was like, oh, thank God, not 500 people aren't dead. And then it's like, but wait, will they be together? And at first, this movie teases you like a cat trying to get a ball of string, because at first you see Taki in a coffee shop, and guess who's there? It's Morgana and the
It's not Morgana.
It's Morgana and the guy.
Yes, Morgana and Joker.
It's Morgana and Terry. They've all joined in for Smash.
Looking cool, Taki. Oh god, but basically they're together, and I think they mentioned something about going for a wedding, or that they're getting married. I kind of was too busy just like, oh my god at that point to like really pay attention to what they were saying exactly. But I think they might be together, doesn't really matter. But they were just like, and I'm like, they're here, maybe Mitsuha's here, and then there's one point where you like see Taki pass someone with an umbrella, and you think it's her, and then he just walks away, and I'm like, and she turns back, and it is her, and I'm like, and then it cuts to them at the subway, and literally they're just on a subway. They're both on the subways. They're both cuts to them both like getting up in the morning and getting ready for their day. They both go on the subway, and they look at each other, and they both notice each other, and they're like, yeah, and I'm like, oh my god, yes, they know, and then it cuts to them like running to greet each other like it's the short paper man, and I'm sorry, I got that flashback when I saw that part, but anyway, they cut back to each other, and you see him at the bottom of the stairs and her at the top of the stairs, and they look at each other, and at first they just walk, and they walk right past each other, and I'm just thinking, no, you turn around and go,
just Taki, you ungrateful.
Taki, you
literally in this case, you ungrateful boyfriend.
Yeah, seriously, I was just so mad, and then at one point he just turns around and goes, I'm sorry, have we met before, or something like that, and she just cries, and she says, I thought so too, and then I start crying, and then they literally ask each other, what is your name? At the same time, cut to credits.
Cut to credits.
Yeah.
Oh, best title drop I've seen in a while.
The title has been dropped throughout the whole movie.
I know it has! Oh, God. And then my heart, that messed with me. That was the most will they, won't they I've ever seen since hearing someone talking about Friends.
It's very, and you see from cause all of this is from Taki's point of view, and he narrates that he has this sense that he's looking for something or someone. He has no idea what it is, but he has to find something, and he puts that energy into like, maybe I gotta find a job or what, I don't know. It's like he thinks back to when he got obsessed with this one town that exploded at this point 8 years ago, and he doesn't really know why why he was so obsessed with it, and it's just he's searching for something, and then they see each other, and it's like, oh shit, I that's what I'm searching for, I think. and it's obviously it's like heart wrenching from the audience point of view, because there's to make a literary reference, a dramatic irony that like neither of them they both know that they're both looking for each other, but they don't think that the other person's looking for them. So they just kind of like duck down and just really, it's just like this uncomfortable, like I want to say something, but I don't. It's gonna come out weird if I do. From Mitsuha's standpoint, especially, she's just thinking like, I remember I did this to somebody once. I can't remember who. I did it to somebody once on a train, and it just crossed my heart, and I'm not gonna do it again.
Poor Mita.
Oh. Yeah, that last part made me cry. It did. It really did.
Oh.
Last time I'm gonna bring this up, but when they were running throughout the town looking at each other, like, I'm telling you, everybody in this room was off their seats, shouting, "Go that way! She's that way! He's over there! Go over there! You bastard! You idiot! She's right over there!" When they title dropped at the end, when they both said, "What's your name?" someone in the audience shouts, "F you!" God, that was such a good experience. What I wouldn't give to have another experience like that.
Oh my god.
You know what? I'm with that random audience member.
Yeah. I'm near the same point. Oh, this fucked with my emotions, but also fucked with my sanity. God, that was so.
I mean, it's from the very beginning when with this body swap. This is the scene that we've been waiting for. The moment when I honestly, like, before the twist, I was thinking that, like, at one point they're gonna, like, meet each other, and suddenly there's gonna be some like special thing where like they're in the same room with each other, and they swap bodies. I thought it was gonna be going in that direction. Nope, it's going into a time travel heist movie about like the destruction of hundreds. Good romance. Nice romance.
Nothing to spice up your romance like Comet destroying hundreds of people.
And forgetting the name of your lover.
So, I know Random was very, but Wash, how frustrated were you watching this? Random was very.
Very. But, like, in the way I still loved it. So very.
In the good way, how frustrated were you? If that makes sense.
Yeah, this was, this is very much a god, just go, just do it. At least upon my this is again like a first, this first impression. I'm still just, I guess it's just like, it's definitely beautiful, but just like something about it just made me feel a little more neutral. I can't really say why. It could also just have been like the condition of when I was watching it, because it was like late at night and I was just trying to like stay awake at the same time. So it's I don't know, something there was something that made it a tiny bit like muted for me, but I would have to like rewatch to see if that like still holds true. I didn't necessarily like cry or like felt like crying.
Let that transition into your final thoughts. Final thoughts time.
Oh shit. Okay.
The Wash. Go.
Okay, since I was just saying that, overall this was I think what just kind of bugged me a bit was that, like, it wasn't as strong on it's huge on its concept and not as strong on its characters, because it was kind of harder to talk about them individually, because like so much about them individually it's about like it's about like each other and the body swap and their like relationships through time. It's not like a with Taki especially, she doesn't have as much of a personality. And like I definitely agree that like Mitsuha is the more interesting because of her upbringing and the expectation that she gets as a mayor's daughter. I liked it very much. I'm just gonna keep saying it. I will have to like rewatch it to know how I really feel about it. But right now it's a bit more muted than I feel it should be. Like I was saying, like the first half, it was just it felt like a very standard like body swap. Very very gorgeous. It's all gorgeous stuff, and there's some good there's some good like small like quiet moments with Mitsuha and the Taki as Mitsuha and the grandmother who we didn't get to talk about. Like I enjoyed all of that. I enjoyed like those great little details like the how well the braiding like just kind of affect the entire movie with the translation to time with the use of like presenting like is this Taki, this Mitsuha? She got the braids on. Okay, it's Mitsuha. And like the little band that like Taki that had on his wrist for like years and years, and it's all great sort of like finer details. Like this is definitely a great script. I guess I was just like a little muted because it didn't hook me as well into characters. But again, that is for now. I would have to rewatch to know for sure.
Random, it's your turn.
This film made me feel a lot of emotions. I didn't know where the film was going, and which is good. I thought every time I thought it was going somewhere, it just went 180 and just went a whole new direction that I never thought was possible. I did like the characters. I agree with Wash that probably I wished characters got a little bit more development, but I still enjoyed them. I still like having them in the film. The twist was fantastic. One of the best twists I've ever seen in cinema. Period. One that was developed so well and never saw coming. But at the same time, if I probably watch it again, I'll be like, oh my god, that's why. Oh my god, oh, that's why. Oh.
Yeah,
so
while the movie was going on, I was thinking back to like, oh yeah, that's right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So overall, it's a very great love story, and I don't know. I just really, really enjoyed it, and really enjoyed like how this story was told, and it's a gut puncher. You're gonna be yelling at the TV. The only reason I wasn't yelling like out loud as loud as I wanted to was because it was late when I watched this. But it was a ride. It was a wild ride, and I really did enjoy it. I really, really am glad I watched it. I can say my rankings, but I'll do that later.
Nice! Finally! You know the order! Now that we're done!
Yeah, I'll save it for next time.
John! She's so mad at you for getting this late. Okay, go ahead, Kirbyfan.
So for my final thoughts, as the one of us that has seen this movie more than once, I can definitely say, the first time you see this movie is truly, this is in my opinion the best thing about the movie. The first time you see this movie, there's nothing like it. I was lucky enough to be around a group of my like-minded people. I wasn't watching an anime film in a movie theater with ongoers who weren't passionate about animation, parents who just came because their kid wanted to see it. This was a group of anime nerds sitting in a small room screaming at the monitor. They just went that way. Go that way. And it was the second time watching it. I liked the movie. I still really, really enjoy this movie, but now that I know everything that happened, there's great rewatch value picking apart the little things, but it's just not the same. The rewatch value, the movie, it has value for different reasons than it did the first time. It's just one of those things that's like, I'm never gonna see this movie for the first time ever again, but I pretty much got the best first experience I could have possibly gotten. So in that regard, on a personal level, this movie's very important to me. But I still really liked it. Like of the movies we've seen, now that we've actually gone through all 7, I can safely say 6 of these films, I love these films. Like, it's not, oh, I think they're great. I love all of these films except for the obvious outlier.
Yeah.
So, I have a feeling this is where it's gonna change, though. Rank Your Name. Go.
Oh my god, this is a tough one. This is a very tough one.
I'm telling mine after.
Is it better than Sonic the Hedgehog?
Oh my god! Well, this is first impressions. Let's save this part. Let's save that for the is this better? Let's save that for the finale. But just tentatively rank it for now. This is just your first impressions. This doesn't really matter. Rank it for now, and we'll get back to it later.
This is going to probably change, but I really don't know where to put it.
Do you want to put it off, since this doesn't matter?
This is probably going to change when I rewatch them again, but it's somewhere. I can't tell if it's better or not as good as Tokyo Godfather.
All right, so tentatively,
it's not beating Silent Voice.
Tentatively, we'll say above Kiki's, below Tokyo Godfathers. Tentatively.
All
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm as of now, Silent Voice can't be taught. But again, I gotta watch both of them. I gotta watch everything again.
We'll get to that when we get to that. As for me, I'll keep this short and sweet. Again, just to put this reminder here, I love all the movies we see in Sonic aside. I have it sandwiched in between Wolf Children and Redline.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that is surprising.
I love Redline.
Please elaborate.
I love Redline. Redline is such a blast. Redline is a movie that I could just throw on. It doesn't matter where I am. It doesn't matter how many times I could see it. I could just throw it on and be like, they just said Funky Boy. Your Name, seeing it again, it was just like, it's amazing and for a different reason, but it's just like that constant feeling of like, I'm never gonna see it for the first time again. It's just always, and Redline was just consistently a blast. Wolf Children. Your Name, was really good and it was really consistent. I just thought Redline hit more highs. But I like it more than Wolf Children.
Okay, well,
I like it more than Wolf Children. I don't really think Your Name ever hit the lows that that one did. But again, Wolf Children isn't my favorite film from that director, so it's like nice to have you here, but not the best.
Okay. So you felt that if Wolf Children had like some more sucky moments?
The first like 20 minutes.
Yeah. You know how the first 10 minutes of Up was great? The first 20 minutes of Wolf Children.
I love the rest of the movie. Like, adore the rest of it.
Yeah.
It's the only good movie we've seen that it's like, yeah, this part of the movie, not good.
Okay.
And then, so, we'll get into this before we get into our brief discussion and the episode, but, next time, already, is the finale.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So
we actually have a big plan for it. We hinted at it a little bit in this episode, but Kirby fan, since you're the lead on this, why don't you tell us what our big plan is for the finale?
Tell us what we're doing for the finale.
Yep. We have a few big plans, not quite as big as Pixar Spective. I don't think this is going to be a 3-hour discussion, but
it better not be.
Oh my God, no! Please, I hope not.
I have seen all these movies twice. This is a definitive ranking on my end. But Random and Wash have only seen them once. So what we are going to do is that I am going to be a lazy bum and not watch these again, because I don't need to. But Random and Wash are going to rewatch all 6 movies that we have seen so far. Do you like the subtle nod that they're not watching Sonic again? Anyway.
Wait, oh. I just noticed that, yeah.
Anyway, but
I'm gonna correct you, but it's like, oh yeah.
So they're gonna be rewatching the good movies, and they are going to be coming up with a concrete ranking. We're probably gonna do a brief discussion on all of them again, just to kinda Your Name we just talked about, but it's been a solid 2-3 months since we talked about Silent Voice. So just, kind of get back into it, talk about them a little bit, see what their opinions are on second viewing for all of these films. And then we are busting out the number one thing that we were missing from this going to Pixar perspective. The rankings. We are bringing them back. They're going to be ranking everything, taking my rankings into account. We're bringing back the averages, and we are going to find we already know what the best is probably going to be, but we're going to find out how we would all rank these films, and it'll be exciting. And then from there, we have some other stuff planned, but we'll see when we get there.
I'm even going to bring back my average ranking machine.
Yes.
I'm very excited.
Yes, we're going to have 3
bring
ties.
that out and... Oh, wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, on a 7-movie list. Every movie...
have 3 ties in a film of in a list of sticks.
And then on the bottom is just that other one.
Yeah.
At least we'll all have the same bottom this time.
Yeah.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
We're all gonna have the same bottom. Anyway, so that's for the finale. Stay tuned for that. But before we go, one last quick bit on Your Name. I have a feeling that both of you might agree with this sentiment. But do you want to know, not to say that he's not the biggest fan of it, he's very happy with, he's still very happy with it, but do you want to know who think Your Name could have been a lot better?
The director?
Makoto Shinkai, correct. I have the exact quote right here. There are things we could not do. The director of animation wanted to keep working on it, but he had to stop us for lack of money. For me, it's incomplete, unbalanced. The plot is fine, but the film is not at all perfect. 2 years was not enough. Yes, this film was made in 2 years.
You know what?
This film was made in 2 years. Just think about that. Like, the frames in this film, 2 years.
Oh, yeah. I also noticed in the details that, like, they did storyboarding on this with, like, Toon Boom, which is, like, wild to me, because, like, Toon Boom is, like, the equivalent of, like Adobe Flash. And and they use it for, like, storyboarding, and it's like, yeah, that makes sense for how well, like, animated and edited this is. Like, it feels like kind of like Satoshi Kon, with like how well planned all the shots and juxtapositions of shots, like, good stuff.
So, what do you think about that quote, both of you?
I agree.
Yeah, I do agree too. I mean, it's still fantastic. It's still a fantastic movie. They still have a lot of devil in the details. It's still like a great story told, but as an artist, you're never satisfied with your creations.
Oh yes.
There are times where I've edited things I've written like years ago, and I'm like, this is all shit. I have to rewrite everything all over again. I have to do it. And 2, you wish deadlines exist for a reason, but at the same time, you wish they didn't, because while they can they can help with the creative process, more time always helps, especially with a time-consuming thing like animation.
Well, it's hard to find that line, because there's just always going to be stuff where you're just like, oh, we gotta fix that, fix that, and then there just comes a point, and that's what the deadline was for it, where it's like, let's just ship it. we just gotta get this out the door. It's fine. Like, and as a creator, and I know this from experience as well, like, when you watch it, all you're thinking of is what could have been.
What could have been. Oh.
It's just, yeah, it's just sad stuff. Aw. Well, I did actually, was there anything else we wanted to say about that quote?
Oh, no, I feel him. That's, I get that. That's all I had to say.
Cause I did notice, that they is, going to make J.J. Abrams is producing a live-action remake of Your Name.
Correct.
Wait, what?
That's right. He's not directing it. It's going to be directed by Mark Webb, who directed the Sony Spider-Man films. And he's done something else, and it completely escaped my mind. But from what I'm seeing, like the Japanese rights holders apparently wanted them to, like, they don't want them to make it a film set in Japan. They want it to be they want it made from a Western point of view, as the Wikipedia says here. And so we know that it's Mark Webb, and we know the detail that it's going to be about a young Native American woman living in a rural area, and a young man from Chicago who are swapping bodies. And yeah, that's definitely interesting, and I think because now not only with this pitch, you not only have a difference in gender, you have a difference in ethnicity, and suddenly you have a very it becomes a different puzzle, I feel, in that regard.
My big thing about this is that they have the original team's blessings to say, don't make this Japanese, make this Western. Yeah. They have their okay on it, so they went with that, and I think that's what's the most important part about this.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that they just said, like, don't do a shot-for-shot remake. Make this your thing. Because this is, like, a lot of the, like I said earlier, like, with the stuff with the stocky, like, so much of that it's just gobbledygook for a non-Japanese audience. Like, it just does not translate at all. The centuries of tradition embedded in that. So they're just gonna try something else. I do worry that whenever this film comes out, I don't see any I don't see a date on at least in this article yet. But whenever this comes out, I do worry that the American audiences, when they see it, they're gonna see the twist and they're gonna be like, oh, so it's like the Lake House. Do you remember the Lake House?
No.
With, Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock?
No.
Okay, so the Lake House is no body swapping, but it's about a lake house with a magical mailbox, and the mailbox it goes through time. So there's it is also a romance, and it's a former owner of the lake house communicating with the future owner of the lake house, and they write letters to each other. They try to they make little jokes about like the future, and spoilers, something like cataclysmic goes wrong, and the woman from the future finds out and tries to write to Keanu Reeves that like she has to like don't do this, and then at the very end she tried to send this letter to warn him, and like she's crying, and then she looks over into the distance, and there's Keanu Reeves walking up, waiting for her, and it's a very sweet moment, and I feel like that's gonna be the only comparison people are gonna have when they see this movie.
I mean, knowing nothing about the lake house, credit where credit is due. If Keanu Reeves was waiting for me, I'd cry too.
Yeah, honestly, me too.
And also, weirdly enough, The Lake House is also a remake. It's a remake of a Korean film, as it turns out.
Oh, on that note, Your Name is anime original. It was not a manga, it was not a light novel, anything like that. It is anime original.
That's also something to appreciate.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know who Keanu Reeves was waiting for?
The ending?
Pixar Spective never dies, but this episode does. That's all the time we have for tonight.
Yep. Rizzo.
Yeah, well, this was nice.
It was very nice. It was a good thing, but we still have the finale left, and then after that, well, you'll just have to tune into the finale episode to see what we have planned next. Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. We should note, we are currently recording this on the night of the Super Bowl. So
Yes.
this is our past selves. We don't yet know who won the Super Bowl. We don't yet know who won the
SpongeBob.
election.
Even if the game ended, we don't know.
Apparently SpongeBob. Maybe. We genuinely don't know.
I don't know. And Marvel movies were announced. That's all I know.
This is my future watch. If you're listening to this, you have to stop the comet from splitting. You have to stop Plankton from bringing in the mega bucket.
God damn it! You always have to make this about SpongeBob, don't you?
Anyway, yeah. So this has been a fun 6 films. And can't wait for their ranking and what our futures are going to be.
Yes, indeed, Lady.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've been the watch.
I've been random bystander.
And I have so many more films I want to show, but we're already done.
I know. You bet your ass we're doing a part 2.
Hey.
Oh yes, we are going to be doing a volume 2. Can't wait.
Not right away.
Spoil
but
a
we'll do a part 2.
finale.
Uh-huh.
Bye-bye.
What's your guys' name again?
I just told you. I have all these films I want to show, but we're done already.
Oh, I thought it was.
I thought you were going to say, I know. It's I love you.
It's.
Well, that doesn't help.
End it there. That doesn't help. It never helps.
Excuse me. Have I met you somewhere?
I thought so too.
Can I ask you
your name?